What's up, you guys? It's your eye in the sky, EagleGarrett, and today we're going to be talking about War in New World. Now, our first week in New World was crazy. We did all kinds of awesome things, 24-hour stream, giving away copies of the game and everything. But one of the things that didn't go so well during that first week of launch was our very first war. And so we got destroyed, we got smacked around, we got obliterated. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys the difference between that very first war and some of the things that I learned and the adjustments I made so that when we competed in our second war, we fought in our second war, we absolutely destroyed and actually wound up winning the war in under 8 minutes. So I'm going to tell you guys the secrets and things that I learned from that first war and tell you what changed between that and our second war. And hopefully by the end of this video, you can start getting ready for wars in New World. To give you a little bit of background on what happened, we basically got into a situation where we never got enough gold to purchase a territory within the New World map during that first initial wave of launch. And if you weren't there for launch, basically what happened was none of the map was controlled by anyone from any of the factions because there was no factions or people in factions at the time of launch. So every single territory was up for grabs for 100,000 gold. So if you put together a company quick enough and you got 100,000 gold quick enough, you could go buy a territory and not have to fight for it. And then you would own it. And at that point, you become the defender. So if anybody attacks you, you are in the better position because you're on defense, and defense has a little bit of an advantage when it comes to war, just based on how war is constructed. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we didn't get 100,000 gold quick enough. Now, we helped one of our allied companies get 100,000 gold, and they purchased a territory. But by the time we were looking at the territories that were available, there just wasn't anything really to purchase, and the few that were available to purchase, we didn't have 100,000 gold for yet. And so we ended up declaring war for 15,000 gold on Everfall. And Everfall is one of the most popular places on the Eternum map in New World. And so we thought, we want Everfall, let's declare war and let's take it over. Now, this is the first week of launch in New World, and the problem is that there were a couple of different focuses for people during that first week. Some of the people were focused on max leveling, right? Level grinding as quickly as they could to get to the highest possible level they could in as little time as possible. Some people were focused on a little bit more well-rounded approach, meaning that they were focused on some crafting and some gathering and leveling and, doing some questing and figuring things out and just playing the game. But the problem was anybody who was focused on leveling automatically had an advantage the first week when it came to PvP. Part of the reason why is because even though there is an element of PvP scaling within New World, once you're a higher level by 5 or 10 levels, you really are at a super big advantage over somebody who is 5 or 10 levels behind you when it comes to the PvP. Part of the reason why is because your level is higher, therefore you have more attribute points to put into whatever your weapon categories are or into your constitution, your health. The other reason why is because you get better weapons, you get better armor, better gear from drops because you're playing at higher level areas. So for our company and our faction, the Covenant, we were basically in a situation where most of our people were doing a little bit more of a well-rounded approach to leveling. And so we had people in the 20s and the early 30s primarily, with a couple of people pushing 40, right? The company that we were going up against in that first war had people in the 40s and even in the 50s. They had a lot of people that were leveling very quickly. In fact, it was the Syndicate faction, and a lot of the people within the company that we were fighting in the war had leveled very, very quickly. And so across the board, their average level was higher than ours by 5 or 10 levels. We didn't understand how much this would affect war until we got into that very first war. But as soon as we started making our plans and getting our strategy down and stuff like that, we felt confident. But the moment we stepped out onto the battlefield, things changed. Now, our first initial push in our first war was actually pretty good. We had a strategy where we were going to send our main force up to Flag B and create a distraction. We were going to have a pause for our two groups. We had 10 people that were going to wait just a little bit, wait a few seconds until the battle got going at Flag B. Then they were going to push flag C and basically try to cap it under the radar while everyone was focused on B. And so this almost worked for us, even though we were a lower level. But the problem was, as soon as the syndicate company that we were fighting realized that we had people on flag C, they sent over a couple of high-level people and they absolutely obliterated us. They killed all of us off of the flag, and we were not capturing it anymore. So then we tried to regroup and push flag B, then tried to move around to flag A. We were basically trying to get all of our forces on a flag to just take a point because we needed that momentum in order to start sweeping those next 2 points. This was not working out well for us, though, unfortunately. And what ended up happening is the defenders not only were defending each of the flags, they were higher levels, so they were obliterating our company, but also they would chase us down, and I myself died multiple times just by the simple fact that somebody was a more tanky DPS and I was a light armor ranged weapon guy with a musket, and so they would just chase us down and kill us and like literally spread our forces very, very thin. So what ended up happening from all of this is that we got overrun. In fact, it was so bad, we were getting destroyed and smacked around so bad that the defending forces actually wound up going on the aggressive side, the offense, and pushing us all the way back to the war camp that you start in or that you respawn in. So we were literally loading into the war camp from dying, trying to go out the gates, and there were enemies surrounding the war camp, killing us as we were respawning and coming out of the gates. It was a really bad situation. We finally got regrouped a little bit and we tried to push some of the flags. We got a little bit of progress made on A at one point and stuff like that, but we got destroyed. That's basically what happened. So at the end of the war, I had 0 kills. I don't even know how many deaths. I'll put it up on the screen, but we literally just got obliterated, you guys. I was one of the lowest scoring people because I was doing ranged weapon stuff, and I just realized something has to change because this war was not good. It did not go well. We had the strategy, we had the plan, we had people that were excited, but we just didn't have what it took for that first initial war. And I realized part of the reason why was because of that level gap, right? We were seeing people much higher levels than us, and when I would go up against somebody that was 5, 10, 15 levels higher than me, they were killing me in 2 hits, 3 hits. I mean, they were absolutely destroying. And so I realized a couple of things from this, and we learned some valuable lessons from this very first war. One of those lessons was you really need to focus on leveling when you start to think about going into war in New World. Now, if you're a PvPer like a duelist and you want to 1v1 people or maybe do little skirmishes on PvP routes, it's a little bit different. You can get away with not being, max level and things like that. But when it comes to war, when people are leveling like crazy and they're getting the best armor and the best weapons, and you have a massive, 50-person army that has been doing that, if you're not up to par with their level, and if you're not up to par with their gear and their weapons, ultimately you're going to get destroyed. That's just the bottom line. And so we realized this from that first war. And so I started saying to the company, I was like, guys, we have to focus on leveling. Drop what you're doing and focus on leveling. Town boards, side quests, main story quests, anything that will give you XP so that you can work your level up, because we're going to have to get to max level. And ultimately, if we're not max level at level 60, then we're going to go to war and it's going to be in vain. We're going to spend $15,000 every time we go to war to get the, hopefully win the war bid. Then we're going to go to war and get destroyed by level 60s. Because at this point, if people are level 40 and even level 50 in the first week of New World, I was like, it's going to take one more week and a ton of people are going to be level 60. And that's basically what happened. So from that first war, to summarize, war is kind of more of an in-game focus, especially now that New World has been out for a while. I encourage you guys, if you're joining New World at this point, if you're starting to play the game at this point, I would not worry about war itself. I would, you can focus on doing some PvP and some, dueling people that are your same level and get some practice when it comes to combat. But trying to go to war at this point is basically going to be pointless if you're a new player. And the reason why is because everyone who's getting chosen for wars is level 60. Pretty much everyone's level 60, and if they don't have enough level 60s, they pull in the next highest level 59, and then if they don't have enough level 59s, they'll pull in level 58s. So if you're at level 20 or a level 30 or even in your level 40 area, you're probably not going to get chosen for war anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. What I'm trying to say is focus on leveling and focus on getting the best gear and weapons that you can, and also focus on your weapon mastery and building out your weapons, because once you hit level 60, war becomes an integral part of your experience in New World. It's actually some of the end game content is fighting over these territories with the other factions and going to war constantly. This is part of what end game is all about. And so I wanted to enjoy in-game and I wanted to be prepared for it. So with that being said, we move on to our second war experience, and war was declared on Weaver's Fin and the Covenant was attacking. So we went all in. We were going to go and try to take over Weaver's Fin. And I was nervous, I'll be honest. But at this point, I was level 51. I had been doing nothing but leveling pretty much. A little bit of PvP in there, but not a ton. Leveling. And I was level 51. I was one of the lowest levels that got selected for the war in Weaver's Fin. Now, with that being said, we got into the war, we started attacking, and even though we were on the attacking side, our strategy was basically the same as that first war, except for we sent our main force to flag A, and then we sent our special forces, our about 10 people, 2 groups, to flag C. Now, while we were pushing flag A, we were destroying, we got up there quickly, and then we just started doing massive damage. While we were doing that, our special forces were capturing flag C, and they captured flag C very, very quickly. In fact, they did it faster than we were capturing A with the majority of our forces. But as soon as they captured C, calls started being made to push up and take out their healers and things like that. And then somebody was like, no, don't leave, guys, we're capturing A. And we realized we're literally about to capture A. So a few moments later, we capture A, and then of course the calls made everybody push B. So at this point, we have 2 flags captured in just a few minutes, and we start pushing flag B. We get on B, there's a skirmish, a fight, and even though cannon fire is coming in and things like that, we wind up taking flag B, and then the push for the fort happens, right? So we are feeling good at this point. We're a few minutes into the war. We've already captured all 3 flags, and now we're full pushing their fort and taking down the doors. As soon as we bust through the doors, we come in and we just go all out on that final flag within the fort. And I'm telling you right now, guys, during this whole process, we did experience a lot of lag. New World has been having issues with lag and war and things like that, and you'll see that during some of these clips that there was a lot of lag going on in some of these different flags and moments that I was in. But I got in there, I started swinging my great axe, throwing down the gravity well, committing executes when I had a cluster of enemies, which does a massive amount of damage and it's unstoppable. So some of these abilities I was thinking, okay, this is going to be perfect for this situation. This is going to be perfect for this next situation. And honestly, the strategy was working. Right? The strategy for my build was working, the strategy for the whole leveling thing, because most of the people on our team at this point were level 60. Like I said, I was level 51. I was one of the lowest levels on our attacking force, and yet we still did fantastic. And we got in there, we got on the main flag, we took the main flag, and by the time it was all over, you guys, we ended up taking their Weaver's Fin fort and taking it for Covenant in under 8 minutes. And I've got the time up on the screen right now, but it was under 8 minutes that we took over the fort. Massive difference, because our first war went all the way out to 30 minutes. They defended for 30 minutes and we got obliterated, right? We couldn't take even 1 flag during our first war. Second war, we take the fort in under 8 minutes and absolutely destroy. It was a night and day difference. And we were going up against all level 60s. But the difference was now we were on the same playing field, and this makes all of the difference in the world when you're in war. And that's why I say, if you're a lower level, if you're getting into New World right now, don't worry if you're not getting into wars. Don't even worry about wars. You can sign up for them, and if they pull you in, great, get some experience, but don't make that your main focus. Make your main focus leveling, gear, and weapons. That's what your main focus needs to be, because if you'll focus on that now, it will pay off once you hit level 60. Once you hit level 60, you'll start getting into wars and you can start doing big damage and you'll be on the same playing field. So I wanted to share this video with you guys and tell you a little bit of my experience from my first war to my second war and how much it changed drastically from getting obliterated to being the company that was doing the obliterating, and also some of the things for you to focus on. Hopefully this will help you kind of focus your attention in New World if you're interested in the PvP side of things, and you can start thinking about war from this perspective and some of the things we've talked about, so that when the next war comes up, you're ready level-wise, you're ready with your weapons, you're ready with your abilities. You've gone through and you've done your due diligence in order to prepare, because war is so much fun. I'm telling you right now, guys, war is so much fun. And even with the bugs that they have going on and the lag and some of those types of things, they're going to get that figured out and smoothed out eventually. And once that's smoothed out, war is going to be just even more fun than it already is. So start preparing for it and thinking about it now. But if you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button for me. I would greatly appreciate it, and we can get this video out to more people to help them in their New World journey. If you're new to New World, welcome. It is a great game, and I'm so glad that you guys are a part of it. I love the game, and we've been playing nonstop since it came out. Of course, if you like this channel and videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to know when videos like this drop. Also, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/EagleGarrett. I'm live streaming New World constantly over there all week long. I do it full time, so we would love to have you in the community with us. And you can also join our Discord at discord.gg/flock. We got a whole bunch of New World players in there, among other things. It's actually a community of gamers and streamers and content creators, but we got a New World section in there. That's where our company is. If you'd like to join our company on the Marama server, we were also, recruiting for that recently. And so if you're interested, come on by, let us know. In addition to all of that, final thing I'll say, all my socials are down in the description, as well as all the other links for stuff we talked about in this video. So check those out, you guys. But with that being said, until the next video, rock on, peace out, God bless, and last but not least, cacao! Oh, it is still open. Okay. Iron Trees did not respawn yet. Oh, no, I just hit level 60! Bro! No! I just hit level 60! Dude, it wasn't even as planned, but I'll take it. Hey, let's go in here really fast while we can. We just hit level 60. Guys! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah! Ha 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 ha!